And now I'm heading up one of the satellite offices at my home parish, Our Savior's Silver Spring. At Samaritan Ministry, our core story has been the story of the Good Samaritan. But there's another parable of Jesus that has blessed me and drawn me into this ministry. And that is the story, the parable Jesus tells of the rich man and Lazarus. You may recall it. The rich man, during his lifetime, feasts and does not notice Lazarus, the poor man, at his gate. The story then takes us to the next life, and what sticks with me there is what Jesus calls the great chasm that is now fixed between the rich man in his own hell of isolation and Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham. The tragedy in the story is that the rich man missed his chance in life to reach across that chasm of division between privilege and need that separates neighbors. And reaching across those divides is what Jesus wants us to do. That is what is meant by the reign of God, that fullness of life that God desires for every single one of us. Samaritan Ministry has graced me with all kinds of opportunities to reach across that great chasm. I got pulled in about 2 years ago when Steve Brushett, the treasurer of Samaritan Ministry and a member of my parish, invited me to this breakfast. And this was my first exposure to all of the things that Samaritan Ministry does. Soon after, I started volunteering at the Southeast office because that was where the need was greatest. The drive around the Beltway from Montgomery County and over the Wilson Bridge to Southeast became a physical way, week by week, for me to cross that great chasm. The folks based in Southeast welcomed me with open arms, both the staff and the participants, many of whom are proud, long-time residents of Anacostia. I met people and heard stories I might have never heard. The returning citizen newly released from prison, who knew that he needed to find a shelter that would not threaten his resolve to stay drug-free and sober. And I watched as he steered our intern caseworker toward one of the shelters run by the Center for Creative Nonviolence. There was the Ethiopian refugee newly applying for asylum who was trying to navigate housing opportunities. I sat at the computer with participants who were applying for entry-level jobs, just staying with them while they worked through complicated online applications and encouraging them not to give up, even when I was getting a little frustrated myself. I'm not sure how many of you have tried to apply for a job online, but it is not perfect. And it's a real issue for our participants. I celebrated with a longtime participant when he proudly posted on the bulletin board the acceptance letter for a new job. I will not soon forget the look on his face as he tried on the suit that Samaritan Ministry provided, and how his expression of delight reflected his sense of his own possibilities transformed. And I joined in a pre-Thanksgiving dinner party at the Southeast office that really felt like a family celebration with participants and caseworkers and volunteers together. I've learned about casework by watching Adrienne Vaughn in action, the caseworker at Southeast. Firm, friendly, and always supportive. As a volunteer, part of my job was to help enforce the clear and insistent house rules that she set, including my favorite, which was no hats to be worn in the house. Her rules and her style communicate a tough love that tells people that their lives matter enough to require mutual respect and a joint effort. Working in Southeast and hearing people's stories has transformed my ability to see the needs of folks in the neighborhood of my home parish in Montgomery County, the Church of Our Savior, Hillendale, in Silver Spring. We're just beginning to get to know the participants who come by our satellite office, but already I'm learning more about what it's like to live on the street, why it's so important to start with housing first, how frustrating it is to be underemployed, and what hidden needs there are for help with job searches and for immigration and mental health issues, right in our neighborhood. My hope is that the volunteer team we've assembled at Our Savior will be able to create the same kind of atmosphere of respectful welcoming that I saw in the Southeast office. A welcome that says we're here to support you in what you are trying to do for yourself. Samaritan Ministry provides the container for this creative work of reaching out and welcoming our neighbors. I'm grateful to Tracy and the program staff for the training and support that they've been providing me and our volunteers. Also, I have to add to Annette and Adrian, who are a phone call away, and I've called them a number of times already. Participants say over and over that at Samaritan Ministry we treat them like people, not cases or numbers. We hold each other accountable with love, and sometimes it's tough love. That I have learned from Adrian. But it is love nonetheless, and it goes both ways. I'm grateful for the ways that Samaritan Ministry is helping me to live into Jesus' sacred invitation, to begin learning how to reach across those chasms of class and privilege, and to work together toward the fullness of life that God intends for all of us. Thank you.